The Titanic took 1,200 days to build and sank in just 2 hours. How could the world's largest, most luxurious ship fail so fast? On April 10, 1912, the Titanic was ready for its maiden voyage, a floating palace no one had ever seen before. The Atlantic was calm, the sun shone bright, and not a single cloud threatened the sky. On board, 1,500 passengers, from millionaires to ordinary travelers, were buzzing with excitement, while millions lined the docks, cheering and waving goodbye, completely unaware that disaster was already lurking. No one, not the passengers, their families, or even the experienced crew, knew that 6 massive mistakes during the Titanic's construction had already doomed the ship. These were errors so big, so dangerous, that even Captain Edward Smith, with 40 years at sea, didn't notice them. The White Star Line, with more than 100 years of shipping experience, and Harland and Wolff, the company that had built over 500 ships before, somehow missed them too. Construction began in 1909. Nearly 3 years later, after the effort of 2,000 workers, the Titanic was finally ready. It passed its first test run, and the world immediately began calling it unsinkable. The maiden voyage was from Southampton, England, to New York, set for April 10, 1912. First-class tickets cost $30, roughly 340,000 rupees today, and sold out instantly. Mistake number 1. At noon, the Titanic set sail. Captain Smith, pressured by owners desperate to reach New York fast, pushed the ship at dangerous speeds, ignoring every safety rule. Mistake number 2. On the evening of April 14, 1912, fog rolled in across the Atlantic. At least 6 iceberg warnings came through wireless messages, but the operators ignored them. These crucial alerts never reached the bridge. Mistake number 3. The Titanic was heading straight for disaster. Lookouts had no binoculars and couldn't see the iceberg until it was nearly too late. The massive frozen monster loomed in front of them, and there was almost no time to react. Mistake number 4. When the iceberg was finally spotted, it was already too late for a smooth escape. Captain Smith ordered evasive maneuvers, but the brittle cast-iron hull could not withstand the impact. The ship scraped along the iceberg, tearing open its lower compartments. Mistake number 5. Water flooded in faster than anyone could stop it. The Titanic was designed to survive 3 flooded compartments, but water reached the 4th. Panic began to spread among the crew, but the scale of the disaster was already beyond control. Mistake number 6. The Titanic carried 32 lifeboats, but only 20 were actually on board. With 1,500 passengers and crew, chaos erupted. Lifeboats were launched half full, first-class passengers were prioritized, and the death toll soared. By 2:18 a.m., the lights went out. The Titanic split in 2 and sank completely in just 2 hours and 40 minutes. Over 1,500 people perished in icy -2°C waters, where survival meant mere minutes. The screams, the chaos, and the cold turned the Atlantic into a graveyard. Most survivors were women and children. Captain Smith stayed aboard until the very end, the last soul to leave the doomed ship. His bravery became legendary, but it couldn't undo the tragedy. The Titanic disaster remains one of history's deadliest maritime tragedies, a story of human pride, fatal mistakes, and nature's unstoppable power. If this story shocked you, make sure to like, share, and comment, and tell your friends about these jaw-dropping Titanic facts.